Hey everyone, and welcome to my review of the Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as Bandai have made a double release of the Birth of Ironman editions with the Tony Stark and the Mark 1 armor. This is the second and third release of the Birth of Ironman series, following the re-release of the Mark 3 armor. Finally, Tamashii Nations have given us a Tony Stark in a suit, as well as his first ever armor. So both of these are under the title Iron Man, of course the first MCU movie. In this video, I will be focusing on the Tony Stark figure first. Stay tuned to my channel. I will be also reviewing the Mark 1 later on. So I feel that this is more or less it for the Tony Stark Iron Man figures. Next month, they are releasing the Avengers Endgame I Am Iron Man figure. And after that, I feel that all his iconic and most memorable looks have been released under the 1/12 scale by Tamashii Nations. So I can't really see them making that many after this. So this is going to be a very significant review, as it might be his final one. So I'm going to put the Mark 1 to the side, and then we're going to take a look at the packaging of the Tony Stark figure. And I actually really like this design. It has this shiny chrome look to it. There is no cutout, which they usually do, but we do get the titles, the stickers and the logos. And just look at the front, we have Tony Stark in the suit, and then in the background, in a more chrome type of shine, we have him in that building the armor type of look with the vest and the hammer. So I believe it's the first time Tamashii Nations have made a 2-in-1 figure, at least for Marvel anyways. And I've seen this packaging somewhere before, and it is the Avengers Mark 7, although this one didn't have that chrome design. So hopefully they'll continue to make this kind of look, because it makes the figure a lot more premium. And then on the side, we have Tony Stark in the suit, as well as him in the vest. The bottom, as well as the top, we have the Tony Stark words. At the back is the figure in different poses. So now we can unbox the Tony Stark figure. So inside we have this instruction manual to show you how to put on the accessories. And here is the full look of the Tony Stark figure inside his packaging. So it does actually come with a lot of accessories. It's kind of separated into 3 sections. So on the left, for the suited Tony Stark, we have the alternate hands and head, as well as a mobile phone. And then in the middle, of course, is the alternate body with a stomach and more alternate hands. And then the right hand side is all the accessories to build up the Mark 1. So here is the figure out of its packaging. Finally, we get a Tony Stark in a generic suit. I know to some people this is pretty simple, nothing special, but this is probably one of his iconic looks throughout the movies. I'm pretty sure he wore a suit in almost all the MCU films, apart from maybe Infinity War and Endgame. And I know that Tamashii Nations have never done a suited figure for any of their Marvel characters. So this is a first. Maybe they've done it for some of the other lines. But in terms of the body proportions and the detail, I think it does look pretty good. Now, the main focus, obviously, is the face sculpt. And what do you guys think? Does it resemble Robert Downey Jr. from the 2008 Iron Man movie? I think they've got it pretty spot on in terms of his hairstyle. It's longer, it's gelled back, and even his look has this kind of younger look of Tony Stark. And if I bring in the Iron Man 3 version, you can see that it's definitely a different sculpt. And I'm pretty sure it's a different sculpt to the Iron Man Mark 4, is it? And also the Endgame Final Battle edition. And I'm pretty sure you can use this for many scenes. If you do action figure photography, you can pose it with the Age of Ultron characters, some of his Civil War figures, Infinity War if you want, Endgame. So yeah, it's pretty important to have a Tony Stark in a suit. Those of you who collect Hasbro Marvel Legends, they did actually release a 2-pack of Tony Stark with the Mark 1 as well. I actually did pick that up. I don't have that with me, so I can't do the comparisons, but I definitely will do in the future to see which one I like better. So in terms of the accessories, obviously we have the alternate head sculpt, which I can show you now. It's the one with the sunglasses, and that looks pretty good as well. You can see it's pretty much the same face sculpt, but just with the glasses. So here is the alternate head alongside some interchangeable hands to recreate that opening scene from Iron Man. And if we focus on the face sculpt, I'm going to say I'm pretty satisfied. It's pretty much the same one as the original, but you get some sunglasses, of course. And to me, some figures sometimes don't look that good when they have some sort of specs on. It's either falling off or painted really badly. But this one seems to be pretty solid, so there's no sign of it falling off. And there's also textures on the rims as well. So yeah, I do like this alternate head sculpt. So now let's move on with the movement of the figure with the articulation. So for the head sculpt, a full 360 spin. It can go round and round, side to side, can look upwards and downwards. Then for the arms, very smooth, can go side to side, back down, forwards, backwards as well. And the shoulder pads also has this separate piece, so you can actually pull the arm down and push it back up. And then for the elbows, obviously they bend this much. And then for the hands, they rotate, and also there's a hinge to go in and out. So I do like the movement of the hands. And then for the body, so he's wearing this blazer, so I'm pretty sure there's not going to be that much of a crunch. But you can move it downwards, because on the back it's actually a separate piece, separated. And then you can push it upwards, which is a lot better. There's not much side to side, but it does work. And obviously there's no rotation. I guess you don't need to do too much movement when Tony starts in a suit. For the legs, kicks forwards, and then they rotate backwards slightly. And then can do side to side if you want. And can rotate this way for some sitting poses. And then the knees, they bend this much back. And then for the shoes, pretty standard. I think there is rotation all the way around, but you can move it side to side. There's also a hinge, and then the boots go up as well. So I guess you don't need to do too much articulation for the legs, since he's going to be in a suit. So yeah, pretty happy with the way it's moving. And I think I can show you some of his alternate hands with the phone. So enough articulation there to look forwards, downwards as well. So yeah, this phone pose is perfect. And then you can try out some of the other alternate hands, which is a slight grapple. And you can make it as if he's talking, giving a speech. So now we can test out the alternate body, which is the building the armor, the second part of this figure. So for this alternate body, obviously you get the top half, and then you also get this belly. So you're going to have to do some swapping outs. And then this will be put to the side. So this is the stomach area. So it's pretty simple. He's wearing the same trousers, but obviously you get a brand new top. So the head, pretty much the same, rotate, downwards, upwards, round and round, side to side. And then the arms, side to side again, upwards, backwards, can rotate, it can bend. The hands obviously rotate, there's a hinge. And just look at the way they've built the body as well. It's a bit different to what we usually see. Maybe he's wearing a tank top, but I think it's a bit different to how they normally sculpt these figures. The body, you can see, is separated into two halves, so you can go up and down, side to side, rotate. Same for the bottom half, crunch, backwards, side to side, pretty much your standard stuff. I think the rotation's probably a bit more stiff because it's kind of rotating the inside, the body part, rather than his outside. So yeah, but let's take a look at this face sculpt. So that's when he's in the cave building. And yeah, I'll say it does resemble Robert Downey Jr. as well. It's a very another good sculpt. Maybe I do prefer the original one, but this one isn't too bad. So let's show you some of the alternate hands. So obviously he has this one to hold on to the hammer, but this is what it looks like. Here is that base. It's pretty detailed as well. We have the Mark 1 mask, and then we have the tongs, and obviously there's more alternate hands. So if I just bring in the Iron Man 3 Tony Stark again, you can see totally different mold, different sculpt. So now let's do some side-by-side comparisons next to some of the other Marvel SH Figuarts. We have the Iron Man 3 Tony Stark, and then also the Avengers Iron Man Mark 7, and then also one of his latest armors, the Endgame Mark 85. This is the original version. And then we also have one of the latest Avengers, Loki, with his legs slightly pulled out because he was shorter than I expected. And then bringing some large figures, we have the Infinity War Hulk, and also the Endgame Thanos. And also here it is next to a Hasbro Marvel Legends, the Endgame Captain America. And here is the figure side by side next to the Iron Man 3 Tony Stark and the Avengers Iron Man Mark 7. So now for my overall opinion of the Tony Stark Birth of Iron Man figure. Obviously it's a must-have if you are a collector of the Marvel SH Figuarts, since this is his trademark look for the first movie and throughout. The suited head sculpt is fantastic, whether it's with or without the shades, and it may be the best Stark head sculpt to date. Obviously I'll do more comparisons in the upcoming videos, and it's pretty much what I expected with his well-proportioned size, good articulation, and that nice bonus accessory of the phone. But the real addition of this figure is obviously the 2-in-1 option, with the capability of swapping out the building armor attire body, and I don't have too much complaints about this either. Yes, the body attachment could be better since it's connected to a belly part, even though you can't see it, so you're actually turning that instead of the upper body, so it can be a bit difficult for the articulation. But as for the accessories, it has everything I wanted even before Tamashii made this announcement, with the hammer as well as the mask. So overall, I'm going to give this a solid 8 out of 10, since it's the first suited Tony Stark and all the accessories it comes with. Of course, this sets up nicely for the Mark 1 figure, which I think will look amazing next to any of the figures, depending on which one you choose. So stay tuned for my review of that, as well as more comparisons and news on the Marvel SH Figuarts. Please like and subscribe, and hope to see you soon.